Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Coach Bronson here. This is my week 8 update of my lean gains. We're going to talk about some things that affect your ability to grow muscle and lose fat that have nothing to do with the calories you take in or the workouts that you do. Okay. Before we do that, I want to make sure that you subscribe to this channel. If you haven't subscribed already, please click the bell so you're notified every time I come out with a new video. But most importantly, if the information in here is new to you, if it impacts you in any way, please be sure to share it with somebody else that you know or care about, because the more people we can get information to about how to improve the quality of life and the things that affect that they have control over themselves, the more people's lives we can change. And that's what's important. Okay. Before we get into that, there's going to be some information I'm going to talk about at the end about my training program. The focus of this video is going to be more about what happened this week, but I'm going to talk a little bit about at the end about what I'm doing with a new training program that I'm starting for myself to kind of assist the process. So we'll get into that at the end. All right, this week I gained fat. This week I lost a little muscle. This week was an off week. Okay, now when we look at our body scans, we look at body composition, and we look at last week to this week, right? Because I recommend doing this once a week. We go, oh my God, I lost body fat. Oh my God, I lost muscle. I gained fat. Everything's going crazy. My world's falling apart. Okay. We need to remember a couple things. There's a lot of factors that go into not just your body composition and how your body changes week to week, but what's going on in your body when you actually get on the scale. Okay. So that's one of the reasons why we want to make sure that when we get on the scale, we're doing it as consistently as possible from a time frame perspective, a time of day, the condition of our body, our hydration level. We stand on it the same way. We make sure that it's cleaned off and it's not got dust all over it, things like that, right? We want to make sure that the environment we're testing in is as consistently identical as possible. Okay. That's number one. Number two, we need to understand that environmentally, the week affects us. Okay. And we're going to talk about that right now. So this week, things that were different this week than they were the last few weeks. Okay. My macros were pretty much the same. If you listened to this last week, you know that I was trying to shoot for about 180, 185. I think I said 180 to 185 grams of fat in my daily intake. Okay. I actually stayed around 175 to 180. So I was a little bit lower. So theoretically, with my fat going down, trying to find what that maximum energy threshold is, I think it's around 180. We'll see next week after we talk about this. I'll explain what I'm going to do. But theoretically, I should have lost some body fat. Okay. And maintain my lean mass. Okay. Now, what do we need to do to lose body fat? We need to reduce our fuel calories. What do we need to do to gain or maintain lean mass? We need to get enough functional calories, protein. We need to make sure that we're stimulating the muscle growth, and we need to make sure that we're getting good recovery. Okay. What didn't happen this week? I got my protein in. I averaged just about what I've been doing, a little over 170, 180, 190 in the protein range. I think this week I got, let's see. Yeah, 183 was my average protein intake, 183 grams a day. Okay. So protein was good. Okay. What didn't happen this week? Sleep was crap this week. Workouts were crap this week. Okay. So when the workouts don't work, when the recovery doesn't happen, then you're going to see a decrease in lean mass, most likely. Okay. Whether it's a little bit, whether it's a lot, the more you do it, the more over time, obviously, you're going to lose. So I saw a little bit of a decrease in lean mass, completely expected. Okay. I saw an increase in fat mass, completely expected. When you don't sleep, when you don't give your body time to reset the metabolism, when you increase the stress on your body, when you increase cortisol, when you increase inflammation, that has a tendency to increase your overall body fat. Okay. Your body hormones affect how your body utilizes and manages fuel. When there's an imbalance, when there's too much in one area, then it's going to affect the balance of fuel in your body. Hence, body fat gain. Okay. So this week, here's what happened. I had a video shoot Tuesday evening. I didn't get to bed till like 1 o'clock. Woke up early, got to work, did stuff. Then that evening, brain fart, not a brain fart. I made a decision. I didn't think it was going to affect me the way that it actually did. So now I know. I had a decaf espresso at like 9 o'clock at night. Okay. I was just in the hankering for some coffee. Knew I didn't want to do regular coffee. Figured, okay, decaf shouldn't be that big of a deal. I've had decaf after like 6 o'clock before, and it didn't mess me up. Okay. Wednesday night, I had decaf and I didn't get to bed till like 4 o'clock in the morning. It was like 3:30, 4 o'clock. I'm sitting on the couch, couldn't fall asleep, finally passed out, had to get up the normal time the next day. Okay. So because of my late night and the way that I was feeling from Tuesday, I didn't work out Wednesday. I didn't work out Thursday because I didn't get hardly any sleep on Wednesday. And then Friday, I had some other stuff going on, had a lot of appointments and things like that. And that was just a day off. I kind of did what would normally be an active recovery day. But again, I didn't really get any strength training. I didn't do any resistance training or get a good workout in. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, pretty much no working out. Saturday morning, this morning, I had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to drive Coach Nat to the airport because she was going on a trip. So when I got on my scale this morning, I've had 3 days of probably 5 or less hours of consistent sleep, 3 days of zero working out. So no recovery, right? Because even though I'm not working out, because my sleep wasn't right, my body was actually not really able to recover. Okay. I was never in that anabolic, that phase of growth and recovery that sleep provides enough to get really recovered. So I've been in a higher stress, higher inflammation state the last 4 days than being in a recovered state the last 4 days. Okay. If I had taken 4 days off and not worked out and gotten good sleep with the macros being on point the way that they were this week, all of that together, I guarantee you that the numbers will be different. Okay. Because when I got on the scale, not only do I have 4 days or 3 days of a bunch of stuff going on in my body, but being on the scale inflamed is also going to affect how the scale reads me, because my body is not in the same level of recovery and performance that it was normally in a normal week. Okay. So I absolutely expected when I got on this morning that my numbers were going to be off, and they were. Okay. Am I worried about it? Nope. I got next week. I can get back into a good sleep schedule, get back into a good workout schedule, and then we'll see what happens, because I know week to week doesn't matter as much as the overall trends. If you look at my overall trends, I am still trending in the right direction. Okay. I am still trending in the right direction. We know that for the past 3 weeks, my body fat has gone up because I've purposely been overeating fat to kind of find out where that number is. Now I think I have a good lock on that number. We'll see next week. I'm going to keep my numbers the same. Okay. I'm going to try to shoot for about 180 and see if 180 with good sleep, with regular routine and working out, if I'm able to bring that body fat down. And if that's the case, then I know 180, somewhere between 180, 185 is my maximum energy threshold, because above that, I gain fat. So if I gain fat again with good sleep, with good exercise, and at 180 of the fat, then I know 180 is still above my max energy threshold. And the week after, I'll drop it down to 170 and see what happens. Right. So I'm not worried about gaining a little bit of fat in the process of testing out and figuring out where my maximum energy threshold is. Perfectly fine. It's part of the process. Once I know where it is, then I can manage anywhere I want to and lose as much over whatever period of time that I want to lose. Okay. So that's not a big deal. So just remember, guys, it has nothing to do with the calories specifically. Calories of fuel make a difference. Calories of protein make a difference. Functional calories versus fuel calories. But if you're not sleeping, if you're not exercising, if you have a lot of stress, because stress, emotional stress, stress in the family, stress at work, whatever, has an effect on your physiological components, right? It affects your hormones. It affects your body. These things matter, and they will play havoc with your body composition as you try to make the changes. Okay. Understanding that it's more than just the calories. You can be 100% on point with your macros, okay, and still gain fat. if the other things aren't in play. Okay. So this is one of the things we talk about, looking at a broader spectrum of the things going on in your life, and don't get stuck just looking at, well, I'm eating right, everything's falling apart, this isn't working for me. A lot more plays into it. Okay. So keep it in mind. The biggest thing you can make, the biggest mistake you can make is looking at one aspect of all of the aspects and thinking that that's the one thing that you have to do to stay on track. Okay. A lot of things that go into it. Secondly, get sleep, guys. Sleep is like the super secret effective. It's going to bring a lot of the aspects together and let your body do what it wants to do. You need to get more sleep. You need to get better quality sleep. And I guarantee you, if you start doing that, you're going to bust through some stalls and plateaus that you may not have even known you had. Okay. So that being said, let's talk about real quick what's happening in the next couple weeks. As far as my workout routines, I am starting a new program. I'm going to be getting away from the CrossFit functional fitness, high intensity interval training a little bit. I'm going to be focusing a lot more on powerlifting. I'm going to be focusing on strength gains in back squat, deadlift, bench, and overhead press. Specifically from the aspect of, I'm trying to get stronger. I'm trying to build muscle. Okay. I want to see how much strength I can gain over a period of time at 50 years old. I know that I can grow muscle. That's been proven. I've gained a good percentage of lean mass. I think my total lean mass, right? So this week it's gone down a little bit, but I think up to last week I was over 2 pounds of lean mass that I've built in the last 7 weeks, 8 weeks. So we know I can gain muscle. That's not a question. What we want to see is how much of a strength improvement I can get along with that muscle gain. So we're going to focus on getting as strong as possible over the next couple months. And that's what I'm going to be doing. I started a specifically designed strength program for powerlifting. It's conjugate based. Maybe I'll get into that in another video, what that means and how the variations of that work. But I'll be doing 4 to 5 days a week of very specific strength training. I'll still be mixing in some of the functional fitness stuff, make sure I maintain mobility and try to get all those aspects of fitness because that's still important. I still need to be flexible and accurate and have balance and coordination, all those types of things. But my focus, a heavier percentage of what I'm focusing on is going to be on getting strong as hell. Okay. That's the goal. So I'm going to be setting some goals there. You guys can follow along on Instagram. You're going to see me doing a lot more strength work and a little less crazy stuff. So keep an eye out for that. All right, guys. Hope that's some useful information. And I will talk to you guys next week with an update on how things are going. All right. Take it easy. Remember, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Share this information out. Let's get more people following along with how I progress as a 50-year-old guy who's no carb, who's gaining muscle while in a calorie deficit, who's getting stronger without carbs and doing everything absolutely backwards, but still blowing things out of the water and going in the directions that I want to go. All right. Because I know how it works. I can duplicate this. I've done this before. We're just documenting it this time so everyone can see how it works. And if you want to learn how to do it yourself, let me know. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on YouTube. Find my website. All the good stuff. All the links are in the description. And I'll see you guys around.